Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode on the Hermitcraft server. What is that noise? What is that music that we are hearing right now? That is the old introduction music, and I saw a comment on the previous video asking to bring it back, so I thought why not? We'll bring it back and see what people think of it. So leave a comment, let me know if you want to keep this music. It would be pretty cool to have it at the beginning of every episode like we used to. But in the last episode I asked you all things you wanted to know about Hermitcraft that were going on, any questions that you wanted to see answered, and there were three things that came up quite a lot. And that was even, not using the correct English at all, is there a map download for the old map? And I can tell you that there is a map download, and people were also asking questions about who's still playing, who are the actual current members of Hermitcraft, and so both of those questions can be answered on the Reddit, because if you go over to the Reddit you will find a link to download the map, and on there is also a list of all the current and active members on Hermitcraft, with the exception of Generic, who isn't playing on the vanilla server anymore because he's kind of tired with vanilla Minecraft. But he's still a hermit, you know, he's always talking in the chat, and we're talking about making videos together from time to time as well, so he's still one of us really, but he just doesn't have time to play on the server. And so, in the last episode I found a really cool way of getting XP. You can see I got 39 levels, and tons of you told me about King Daddy's XP spawner, and I didn't know about that, so that is something I will go and check out in this episode. But I've been going back and forth to the Nether, and I've got some enchantments, so let's check these ones out. I'm not sure which ones I actually made, but we have this pick right here which is running out, and we got one of these. I think we already had that, but we got another one as well, which is really good, so we got 2 fortune picks. We have a silk touch pick now as well. That was excellent. I went and grabbed a load of ice with that. I also done a level 4 enchantment on some iron boots. That was the only one I'd done, and I got feather falling, so that's going to be useful. And I think I enchanted a couple of shovels. You can see both of them there, and the axe as well. So I made a fair few good enchantments there. But if we go down and have a look at some of the chests, you can see the resources that I've been gathering. So from the pumpkin and melon farms, I've mainly been gathering pumpkins for something that I plan to do, but I won't tell you too much about that. You can see I picked up tons and tons of ice there. That didn't take long at all. And the nether quartz, check that out. Now, I didn't want to turn all of this into blocks of quartz just yet, because you can't turn them back into nether quartz, but I guess I had to do it because otherwise I'd be putting them into another chest. So we have absolutely tons of that. I must have made several trips back and forth. And do you know what? I really like going into the nether and hunting down nether quartz. It's fun. You can do it while you watch a movie or listen to some music. So I might do more of that, and maybe we'll do some building with quartz in vanilla. Maybe make some large scale buildings. It's easy to say that now, but if you imagine all of this divided by 4, that's going to be a whole row of nether quartz there, and then maybe a bit extra, so possibly around 2 rows, which actually isn't a lot when you're building a large structure. So I did want to show you more of my resources, although I'm just going to flick through these chests quickly because I'm not really sure if there is anything else Oh, there you go, sand was one of the other things I've been collecting. I've started a quarry somewhere, and I've been considering putting my base there as well, maybe making a wasteland base, but I'm still very unsure of what I want to do. I kind of want to stick around the spawn like I did last time, before I figure out what I want to do, and just build farms that everyone can make use of. All of this appears to be empty. We've got some dirt, and then over here is just cobblestone and stones. So you've seen all of my resources there. Now, in between episodes I have been busy. I have been doing a couple of little jobs here and there. So first of all, let's go out here and have a look at the front of my area. You can see I've expanded the amount of sand. Not actually 100% sure I like it that much, but it's cool. It suits the theme. And I've also put up this little wall with a fence on top of it, and it doesn't look that great. And over here you can see I haven't gone for straight walls. I've just sort of let it go in its own pattern like that. So I think that's an improvement overall. And as well as that, I've also finished the melon and pumpkin farms. If you remember, in the last episode we didn't have any water streams connecting them to our storage, so I've now done that. We can go down there and have a quick look, and you'll see that the storage has started filling up already. I haven't checked it today, and the server has been running overnight, probably with people playing on it, so there's quite a chance that the melons have filled up. But down here now it's pretty messy. Doesn't look that interesting because we have... What was that noise? We have to hide all of the ice from... Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, so it's behind there. We have to hide it from the lights so it doesn't melt. We might see a spider up here because I just heard a weird spider noise. That is not the right block. I'll tell you what, I'll fix that in a minute. If we just sprint over here, we can have a quick look at all of this. So pumpkins should only be filling up the first chest. There you go. And melons, well, I'm expecting to see a lot. There we go, full chest. Another one, and another one. Okay, we got up to there so far. And so these hoppers here will also be full, as you can see, which is pretty cool. So there are some other things that I've been doing as well. Actually, the only other thing I've been doing is some work on the ravine, and I don't think I'm going to be making my base in the ravine. I've spent a lot of time down there just looking at it. I've been making little holes in the wall and adding torches and playing around with the light levels, and in general I felt like the brighter I made it, the more it took away from the effect, but the darker that it was only ever, you know, really good at particular times of day with the light effect, and I think that's when the sun is rising or possibly setting, which it's doing at the moment, so we might be able to capture this. But I just feel like it's not the best of ideas. But we, you know, I had fun half stabbing the ravine. That was pretty crazy, and it kind of got me in the mood to play survival again. But let's just pop down here and have a look. So it's really dark on your screens. I don't know why that random torch is there. Let's get rid of that. So you can see there's some light coming from down there and over there as well, and it just doesn't have the same effect, I don't think. Like, now that there's light levels coming into here, the ravine doesn't feel the same, and so I'm probably going to move on to this, but move on from this, but I did give it, you know, a good shot. Played around with the lighting levels a lot. I tried it with these being dimmer as well, and it only looks good at certain times of day. So I think we're going to move on to the move on from the ravine project and give that a miss, because I don't know, I can't see this being my permanent base. And I think what we should do next is take a trip to to somewhere where I don't know where it is, King Daddy D-Mac's skeleton farm. We need to go and find where that is. I'm probably going to have to ask him, and we will have a quick look at that, since so many of you told me about that last episode. Maybe I'll take some things to enchant with me as well. Oh. Aha! I have found the skeleton farm. I'm pretty sure this is it down here. Mumbo gave me some coordinates, and I started heading in that direction, and I saw a concrete pillar, and when I got to it there was a little entrance that led down all the way down here, and yeah, this is the skeleton farm. So let's go and have a look. I have an idea for something we can do, because I'm not sure what exactly it is we're going to be doing this episode, but we need a way to get over here to use the skeleton farm, and there's quite a few skeletons here now. Let's just hit these. Are they one hit kill? Yeah, look at that, they are. There's just a lot of them. That's good. Now I'm level 40, so in there I imagine is the spawner, although I can't really see it. It's very dark in there. And I think there are some farms around the corner here as well. Yeah, so I got a feeling this actually might be King Daddy D-Mac's base as well as just a skeleton farm. But I had a really cool idea for something we could do straight away, which would be easy, because I know lots of people want to use the skeleton farm at the moment. So what I might do is build a nether portal nearby. Now, I know King Daddy's going to want to have his own nether portal at some point, so I'll build one up here where he hasn't started building anything yet, and we will hook that up to the nether hub, and then people will have an easy way to get over here, and it'll also hook up King Daddy D-Mac to the nether hub as well, which is something he'll want to do in the future, so I'll get that done for him. And then we've got a way to get back and forth, which means I can do some enchanting, because one thing I've noticed is there may be a skeleton spawner here, but I don't see an enchanting table and any books as well, because you need books to do level 30 enchants. So I think that is another hint at what we should be doing as an early project, is getting ourselves some leather. So it is a cow farm that we need to build. That's the XP farm down there. I put the portal over here so D-Mac can move it if he wants to, and it's all hooked up. I've checked the other portals as well, and the synchronization of this one hasn't affected the others. And I've said it a few times before in my other videos, if you want to know how to do that stuff, I do have a tutorial on it. I'll put a link to that in the description box. But a cow farm is what we need to do. Here's the sign, by the way, and that's where the other portal is, so it hasn't interfered with that one at all. I don't know what design to do. We could do the same one as we did on the previous Hermitcraft. That's what I'd be most inclined to do, because I know how to build it. It's really simple to use. However, there have been some other features added to the game and some other designs that have been put out there as well. So I think what I should do next is a little bit of research and make up my mind on what cow farm we're going to build. So I haven't done any research on the cow farm just yet. I've actually got distracted by a couple of other things. I've just been helping Mumbo hook up a portal to his mob farm. I've made another portal down there as well, and funny little story, we were talking on Skype and I made the portal on this end and I didn't realise on the other side that it wasn't lit, And so I lit this one up and it generated a portal right next to the one that he had already built, and then it generated another one as well when I put out the first one. But he's fixed it all now, but they generated right here where the hoppers are, so it generated at the same height as this one, which is a little bit of unusual behaviour there. Why did it decide to generate them at the exact same height? But there you go. Anyway, this is Mumbo's mob farm, by the way. If you want to see more on that, I'm sure you'll have a video out on it soon, showing you how it works and all of that good stuff. But we should go back and I'll show you the other portal that I made, which is going to take us to a sand quarry which I have started. And you can see there Mumbo is still still on melons, and I was talking to him about how these baked potatoes are really bad. Since they've made the changes to hunger, it seems like I'm eating these all the time, so we really do need a good source of food, and the cows are going to provide that. This is the sand quarry over here, so if we go down here, it's not too far away from spawn, and I've actually started quarrying it, which is how I got all of that sand from before. So like last time, what we're going to do is make a wasteland. Hopefully other people who use this will follow the same rules. So I put up a little sign just asking people to remove the sand and sandstone only. And so if we have a look over here, this is where I've started doing it. So I've done a little section over there. It kind of comes across a little bit as well. So it doesn't look like much, but it did take some time to do. And so hopefully over time all of this will turn into a wasteland, which will look really cool. Okay, so back to the cow farm. I'd done some research, couldn't really find anything that I liked, so I went into a test world, started playing around with stuff, and then I realised that what I was making was similar to my pig breeder. So if you saw that, it's going to be quite similar to this, and I'm going to show you it as I build it rather than talk about the design. But it's not going to be something super compact, it's going to be fairly large, and so I'm going to build this underground, and this is the place that I want to build it. So I've been looking around here, and there wasn't too many locations that I thought would be good for this building, because I want the entrance to be a giant cow face, so you know exactly what it's for. And so I thought the best place to put it was just over here. So there is a path here that is going to go up and connect to something, I'm not sure what. It will probably go straight along and then branch off to the right and to the left, and then I think we need one other path in the corner here that's going to lead up to Red Eyes' pumpkin farm. It's not a pumpkin farm, it's a pumpkin pie farm, because you get chickens which give you eggs, and you get sugarcane for sugar as well. So there will be a path that goes down here and down into this corner, and then it's not really going to interfere with this at all. But what I want to do next is bring the dirt over the top here and actually bring this back. I don't want to leave it open like that. And so we might put like a little fence up the top so no one walks off and falls down, but this will have a natural looking roof, and then underneath it we'll put in some support beams to kind of hold it up, and then we'll have our cow face on the wall over there. So when we go in through the front of the cow, there'll be a big cow farm behind it, and that's how it's going to go down. I've just realised it's going to take me a lot of time now because it's all underground, which means I've got to do a lot of digging. However, I have a pick. I just repaired it a moment ago with some levels that I got getting more XP in the nether, doing the old nether quartz thing. So anyway, the next thing I need to do is do the top here, put in the support beams, and then do the face. Okay, I just got back from the swamp. I borrowed some of Red Eyes' slime balls, and I remembered that lots of you were saying in the previous episode that what I should do is go over to the swamp when it's night time and there'll be plenty of slimes, which there was. Now what's interesting about that is I went over there in the day recently, and the last thing that I knew about slimes to do with spawning is that they could spawn in any light. I remember building a slime farm a long time ago in Asuma's world, and the light was never a problem to make them spawn. However, in the swamp it clearly is, because there was loads of them spawning at night. So that could be because they're spawning like regular mobs and they're not spawning within a slime chunk. But that is something that needs a little bit of investigation, I think. But anyway, here it is. You can see I've put up a little bit of support on the side here. Tried to keep it nice and natural. I think it looks good. I did say I'd put a fence in, so maybe that's something we'll put across the top here. However, I don't think it's really necessary. It looks pretty good just like that. Now you may notice that the cow looks a little bit derpy, and that's because I actually put the eyes the wrong way around. Normally the black is on the outside, and I thought I'd put it on the inside and see if anyone notices. So when some of the other hermits come down here, maybe they'll spot that, maybe they won't, but it kind of looks like the cow is cross-eyed. Anyway, if we hit the switch down here, this is what I needed the slime balls for. I had to borrow them from Red Eyes, so I'm going to go replace those, and let's get a torch while we're down here. And I put a very simple jeb door in here. So if you haven't seen this before, it's incredibly simple. We have two sticky pistons facing forward holding these blocks, Behind them there are 4 sticky pistons facing towards me, and then the same thing on the other side. So if we go up above, these are above where the pistons are at the moment, and the same thing on the other side. So we have one on the default setting, one with an extra setting right there, and then yeah, just redstone either side and in between, and that is all you need. Then when you power the redstone in the middle, it creates the simplest door there is. So this is going to be the entrance to our cow farm. I'm not sure, well, I'm definitely not going to go with the lever, but I'm not sure where the input is going to be at the moment. Maybe we'll have a button on the side that's a T flip-flop or something like that. I'm really not sure. But now that we've done that, I'm going to go give Red Eyes some slime balls back, and then we can go into this area here and dig ourselves out an area to build the cow farm. So I have made a tiny bit of progress. Whoa, I just want to show you what exactly is going on. I'm digging out a big room back here, and that's Topmass's horse, by the way. Although it needs to be bigger than this because I want to put blocks on the walls. But this is roughly about the size I want to make this, a little bit bigger on either side. And next time I record a little progress update clip, this farm should be functional to some extent. But the reason that I just wanted to record is because I just went on a little adventure with Topmass. So I was working on this and he asked me to come out and hang out with him, and we recorded an episode together, and it was actually a lot of fun, and I wish I recorded it myself. But if you want to watch that, go to Topmass's channel, link in the description box to the episode as well. So when you're done watching this one, there is another one there if you want more Hermitcraft, which is always good. And last of all, I just want to point this out. I think King Happy has been pranked. There is now a duck around his base. And that little thing there, it kind of looks like an egg from a distance, I thought, but actually it's just something else. Some sort of sandstone thing with a chest, but yeah, it's been well and truly feathered. Well, things really do take a long time. As you can see, I've dug out all of this area here. I've dug out a huge area below, and I've just noticed that there is some water dripping from up above there. So there must be a pool of water up there. But down below this, there is a whole bunch of water streams, which I was about to show you. But I've just finished boxing in all of these so that I can actually breed the cows and get more of them in these bits up here. And then what I'll do is I'll break these apart, and then we'll have several rows of cows. And so what I realised is, when I was in the test world days, is I was making something similar to the pig breeder concept. So I thought I'd do something like that, and I wanted to do something big rather than focus on being compact. So what we're doing is we're using the height of the block to separate the adult cows from the baby cows, and I've done a test round on this already. So when that cobblestone isn't there, the cows moving around will simply push off the baby cows and they'll fall into a bunch of water streams which are down below. And I haven't really thought about this, I've just hit record and sort of gone with it, because if we go down here you're going to see it's very dark. Now you can see there's a bunch of baby cows down there. I thought they were actually dying, so it's good to know they're not, because that'll actually fix the problem that we're having here. But here is the top bit, so if that cobblestone wasn't there, they would get pushed off and fall down into this collection stream, where they go down to the end here. And this water elevator is a bit bodged really. I sort of put it together not knowing exactly what I was doing. I was trying to get source blocks every other block going up so that the cows will get pushed into the middle here and then swim up in the middle bit right here. But they keep getting pushed over to the side where they don't swim up because they're one high. So it's going to be really tricky to make that work. But here's the thing, when they grow into adults, they're going to be 1.5 blocks high. So then they'll actually just be tall enough to swim up. So what I might do is replace this with a regular one wide water stream that goes directly up like this. And then when they grow into adults, they'll come all the way up to the top, and then they'll drop down into something where you can press a button to harvest them. So now that I realise that's how it's going to work, it's not the most practical thing really. You're going to come in here, you're going to breed, you're going to breed a load of them, and then you're going to have to wait for them to grow into adults, which is actually pretty much how most of these things work. So I don't know. I think it's turning out, it's going to turn out even to be a pretty good animal breeder due to the size of it. We're going to be able to have a lot of adults up the top here. You can see we've got 4 lanes of them, and when you go across and breed them all, you'll get tons of baby animals in one go. Well, this has taken me a very long time, and you're about to see the amount of time and effort that I put into this. So everything is done, I think. It does need a little bit of testing because some of the stuff works in theory, but let's press the button over here and open the door. There we go, and this is what it looks like on the inside. So yeah, I don't know what exactly this theme is called, but it's kind of jungle temple style. and we've got a button here to close it from the inside as well, so both of those just control a T flip-flop that is hidden behind there. Now because I had to fit in the wiring, I had to change this thing here a little bit, and I did like it more how it was before, but now that I look at it, it actually looks pretty decent. So yeah, let's have a look around at what I've done. I've put in these columns of jungle wood. I was thinking columns and pillars, the two words you could use to describe this, and I mixed them together. That is something I do a lot. But there you go. So yeah, jungle leaves, lots of glowstone up there as well. And then over on these sides we've mixed it up a little bit. We've got some wood and cobblestone. And this I've actually done quite a few times. Down the bottom here there's half slab and glowstone, so that is in this corner over here as well, and then on those two sides over there. And this side at the end here is different, and I was very tempted to make this symmetrical and have something similar to this on the other side. However, I think it looks pretty good like that. So behind there is now a one wide, I guess you could call it, or a water elevator that's one wide. So it's water sign leading all the way up. So that means when these babies that have been separated with this, which I need to remove the cobblestone from, however I'm still in the process of breeding these and getting the numbers up, although these two lanes I think are pretty much finished. We don't really want to overcrowd it too much, but yeah, they will fall down, the babies, into the water down below, and when they grow up into adults they can then use the water elevator. They'll be brought up to the top here, where they will drop down onto this. So you can see there is a hopper to put the items into a chest over here, and there is a dispenser with lava as well. So that is hooked up to a double pulser using trying to remember the name of them, hoppers, that's the one. And so when I press this button we get a brief bit of lava and then it goes back in. Now I think you could probably get away with having wood around it because it's only out for a very short time, but if you have a look, we just step back, you can see that I've stopped with the wood quite far away from where the lava actually is, so there shouldn't be any risk of this place catching on fire. Plus the lava is contained behind all of these blocks, so everything should be fine if I remember how fire spread works. So there are one or two more things to do, like I said, some testing, and over on this side I made a little water feature as well, which I think looks pretty cool. And that cow is derping around, that's what it's doing. So yeah, I need to remove the cobblestone once there's the right amount of cows in these lanes, and then do a bit more testing, but in theory everything works. I'm probably going to add some glowstone down below as well, so these are actually lit and it lights up all of the water below as well, because let's remove some of the cobblestone here. Since these two lanes are pretty much done, you can actually see down into the water, so it's going to look really nice if the water is illuminated. So I might even put some of that glowstone under the water actually. So there are a few more things left to do with this project, and I had planned on doing much more this episode. Well, actually, I planned on doing much less. I didn't expect to put so much time and effort into this project alone. I was hoping to do a few smaller projects alongside this, but we will do that in the coming episodes. And so, if you've enjoyed this video, please do give it a like and help support the Hermitcraft series, and I will catch you guys in the next episode.